Welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is new comic book day. And I am here live with you to talk about all the cool stuff that I picked up um, both in the mail and at my local comic book shop today. First off, I want to say hi to Hi Fi Haven, hanging out. And you remembered, yay, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on. Um, Wednesday is one of my favorite days ever. I check my mailbox. I stop off at Hall of Justice in Parker, Colorado, and pick up a bunch of stuff. Of course, then I curse Midtown Comics. Why is my comic book shipment so slow? For all the stuff that didn't show up on time for the show. But then I get to actually sit down and talk about stuff. And um, I'm going to jump right into it, right? Because you're here to see the comics and not me. And the first thing I want to talk about is my pick of key comic for the week, right? Not that these will become valuable necessarily, but who knows? Stranger things have happened, right? So let's see if I can flip down from top down. And this is for all the new stuff that's out there. I think this might be potentially a key because this does have uh, a handful of new characters, and as we know, for the most part, new characters are where the keys are. And if you look back over time, um, you know, way back in the many years ago, before even we were collecting, a lot of the key characters were introduced, and then you saw like a bunch in like the late '80s, early '90s kind of time period, is particularly like in New Mutants and X-Men, that kind of stuff. And so the new characters are what typically push me toward what might be a key. And this one, Web of Spider-Verse, is a good option for that. And they're a handful. I haven't read it yet. I walked into the house literally just a few minutes ago, but I did pick this up. This is a variant copy. Now I should get in the mail the A cover, but I do like this variant a lot. And you get to see spider vampire fangs, and then the hulkish looking Spider-Man, right? And so I think this is going to be a good one, so I would suggest picking this one up if you want to speculate a little bit. And with that, I'm going to go through the comics that are new to me this week, which will include a handful from weeks past that are just being delivered to me, but we haven't covered them yet. And if anyone wants me to flip through any of the interior art, feel free just to let me know, and I will be happy to pull any of these books out and flip through so you can see kind of what it looks like on the inside. And let's see, maybe I can get a little bit closer up on this. Yeah, let's make this as big as I can for everybody so that we're really seeing what's going on here. All right, so X Factor number 7, which looks like a mix of Angel wearing a Doombot helmet. So there's that guy. Ultimate Spider-Man. So one of the things that I'm super sad about with Ultimate Spider-Man is I don't have a first printing of number 1 of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I was looking at one today, and it's $100. Which I'm not going to bite on that. It's just too rich for my blood. But I am sad I don't have one of these. But here's number 14, and you've got some zombie devil looking dudes in here, and then a Craven the Hunter-ish looking guy right here, and Spider-Man. Nice cover. If you want more color on your cover, you can always go for the variant of these. They're much, I think, prettier. This is kind of the standard design for Ultimate editions. Okay, we've got Iron Man number 5 here, and looks like maybe this is Ironheart here on the side. Fairly decent cover. Nothing super spectacular. And Ultimate X-Men number 12, and this is Peach Momoko. And my wife absolutely just adores her artwork, and I like it. It's not my favorite, but the Peach is all over Ultimate X-Men now, so it's all good. Hi-Fi Haven says, still have some of my Mad and Crack comics from the early 70s. That's awesome. If you had Marvel and DC stuff from the early 70s, you'd be sitting on some really cool comics. I wish I had a big fat stack of comics from that time frame. Unfortunately, I don't, but I always keep my eye out and hope things will show up. Nyx, number 8 here. Pretty decent. Nothing to talk about though. And now Ultimate Wolverine number 2. I got this one from Midtown Comics in my subscription, and it gets got like some ticks here, and it's like a little dark there. So I'm not really happy with this one. I might buy another one, although I think it's a waste of money because ultimately I don't think this is going to be worth anything. And it's not anything that I should really collect. But I'll make that decision. But there's your number two of Ultimate Wolverine. Is that focused well? It doesn't feel like it's focused super. Feels maybe I can get it. Okay, there we go. Now we're in focus. All right, moving on. All right, Incredible Hulk, Johnson, Klein, and Wilson here, and he's got some dental issues. I think we need to really get this guy to floss a little bit. Um, love this up here. So this is number 22, Incredible Hulk. And now we're into titles that I love, and I like this cover a lot. There is action packed. I think the artwork is outstanding. Um, Lost Dog, it says here. You got Wolverine, and then of course the doggers, right? So looking good, very cool. Okay, and here's 68, and we're already on stands with 68D. And then this was another Midtown Comics, and you see, you got color breaks in this. Again, I don't know that this will be valuable, so I probably won't replace it. But man, it's just the subscription is they got to really be bending these things hard. Kind of painful, but it is what it is. I do think this is a good cover, though. I like this quite a bit. All right, now we're into the truly new stuff, and Cruel Kingdom. That's number 3. I've read the first 2 of this, and this is short stories that are fantasy based, and I love the series so far. You know what? That might. Oh, dude, I bought one today with a freaking crease in it too from the store, and I could have picked a different one off the stack. I didn't even notice it. Oh, that sucks. Um, I hate it when I do that. I try to call myself looking at these things and not buying the ones that have obviously been bent, but man, that really shows up. That is unfortunate. But man, I love this comic book. I love it a lot. All right, more in One World Under Doom. So this is Doctor Strange of Asgard. He becomes Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard, which is the spoiler that everybody knows about. And we'll see. I've never been a huge Doctor Strange fan, but we'll see. All right, now this is a series that I've really enjoyed quite a bit. Knights versus Samurai, and man, I love this cover. This thing, watercolor. It's super cool, and I like this. I like this comic quite a bit. So high on my list of things to read if you're looking for something new and interesting to check out. So this mixes like Japanese ancient samurai stuff with the knights of the Middle Ages with also creatures of mythology. Pretty cool. All right. This one is actually number 3, I believe, is out, and I'm having the comic book shop order these for me because I find it really hard to find these anywhere. But Rome Eternal, really good. This is like what happened if Rome, the culture existed in more of a modern times day with more current technology, and well, this is what you get. You have to read it. But I read number 1, and I'm looking forward to number 2. Now, one of the comics that's publishing currently that I think has some of the very best cover art are the Storm series. Man, I love these covers a lot. And I don't know who this artist is off the top of my head, but can I figure it out? I don't know. But this is part of X-Man Hunt. So they're after Charles Xavier, who escaped from prison. And I haven't started reading any of that series yet. But man, this is gorgeous to me. I really like that a lot. Yeah, the Hi-Fi Haven Rome Eternal is good, and I find myself really liking independent comics more and more. But that I don't maybe I don't know, it's just different. I like the independent stuff. I picked up at Void Rivals number 13. I only have Void Rivals number 1 like the 8th or 9th printing. This is in the Energon universe, which has Void Rivals, it has Transformers, it's got the new GI Joe, which I really like, by the way. I've read the first several of GI Joe, and it's really good. Oh, you know what? Maybe I could put myself in a window there. Look, I forgot. I could totally do that. I could put myself in the window. You can see me now. And I really like the GI Joe, although I didn't get Cobra Commander miniseries lead up, and I didn't get the Duke miniseries. So I'm going to try and find those in some discount boxes somewhere and pick those up. But I picked this up just but I really didn't like issue 1 at all, but this has been wildly popular. So maybe I'll go back and try and find some of the older issues and give it another chance and see if I can get into it. We'll see. All right, and I'm not a huge DC guy, but I have been reading the Absolute stuff, and I've liked it because it's new, right? And it's just not the same stuff all over again. Well, they came out with the Secret Six. I don't know if this is a miniseries or if this is going to be ongoing, but I like the artwork. I don't know that I really like this logo very much, and I don't like this thing. I don't care for that. But I'm curious to figure out what the six is and in the background. So just the cover and number one was just enough to pull me in, right? That's, of course, that's why they have number ones for everything. And they're about to restart Batman again with a new number one. So they're going to do Hush, and then I think it goes to number one. All right, Spider Boy. I bought a bunch of these today. I've got number one and number two, maybe number three, something like that. Now we're on 17, and I bought a bunch of these, and I'm going to show those off so you can kind of see the run of covers. I'm also going to show all of the One World Under Dooms that I've got so far, so you can kind of see how that's shaping up. But here's a Spider Boy. I do like the artwork quite a bit, although I think the design of the character is definitely designed to appeal to a much younger audience. But I like the colors, I like the art, although I don't necessarily like the design of the character very much. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. I think this is a really good cover. I like it quite a bit. I haven't read any of these, and I have most of them. So I'm going to try and get the rest of the back issues and then go through one weekend and read the whole deal, see what's going on with that. Another new series started today, Star Wars Jedi Knights. Number one, there are a spate of these new Star Wars number one. So they really have started a lot of new series. I showed a bunch of those off last week. So if you haven't seen that, you can go back and check that out and see those from last week. But this is the new one that dropped today. And this is the first comic, I think, that's set from Marvel that's set in the prequel era with all of these movie accurate character depictions. All right, another one that I've read through. I read the first three, and number 5 came out today, and my comic book store didn't have number 4 left, so I'm gonna have to order that one online or check out some other stores and see if I can find it. But this seems to be pretty good so far. Not super duper awesome. I don't think the cover is anything special on this one at all. But the book is pretty good, and I've got some of the older Terminator stuff that came out in like 92 or something like that. So figured I'd pick these up, and I've been reading them. They're okay. Now, Hi-Fi Haven, you might be too old for this cartoon, but I remember the Herculoids, and I had to pick this up. There are a bunch of different covers for this one, but this one kind of calls me back to my childhood a good bit, and I like the cover as well. It's got all the iconic characters from the cartoon, and the dragon that shoots laser beams out of his eyes, and this thing, and then the Ukla or whatever it is, and these guys. Oh yeah, so I think this is Ukla the Mock. I think that's what they're called, and I can't remember their names. But looking forward to this one, and I do like that cover. He does remember. Awesome. So now here's Spider-Man Homeroom Heroes. I don't even know why I bought this one. I think I've got number 1 that I haven't touched. The artwork I don't like at all. This is toward a younger reader, so this is not something that's designed to appeal to teens or older. But I can't say no, right? But it's got Red Hulk, right? And so this I don't know if it's related to the cartoon. I know there's a prequel series that is related to the cartoon, but maybe this is just for a younger reader set. But Red Hulk is all the rage right now. All right, so let's go through, and I think I had some One World Under Doom stuff in here. Let me pull those back out, and I want to go through the ones that I have so far. I'm still missing a handful of the ones that have been published because my subscriptions either have forgotten me or they haven't delivered yet. But I'm going to go through, and we can take a look at the covers for all of that stuff so far. So let me pull this out. So this one is going to end up being the newest. So I'm going to just set it over here to the side. I'm going to get rid of myself here. And I'm going to try and go through oldest to newest in the reading order. These are going to be a little bit out of whack, but we'll see. So you got Fantastic Four number 28. And this is the core book for this series, One World Under Doom. You don't have to read any of the other ones, but if you want to follow the story, this is the mini series that you want to read. And I like that cover a lot. Doom Academy. So this is a kind of an offshoot of Strange Academy. I read this number one, and it's horrible. This was not good at all. I did not care for it one little iota. Was not my style, my speed. Thunderbolt's Doomstrike. I've not read this one yet, but you got Bucky on the front, and I assume this is Black Widow. So got to be good. Looking forward to that one. I'll get that one read here in a bit. Weapon X-Men. This I can't say no to that, right? So there we go. Storm, number 5. Again, beautiful cover. I absolutely adore the Storm covers. Red Hulk number 1. Now, one thing I'm sad that I don't have is there's a variant cover for Hulk, and it's kind of got Hulk here and like his huge neck, and he's doing something with his hands. And I think that's a very limited edition cover, but I really like that one a lot. And I think you had to do some kind of comic book box from some company or something to get that cover. I don't really know how you get it, but that was really cool. I really like that one. But this is the A cover, I believe. And then X Factor fits in here somewhere, and we talked about that one. And then today I picked up the Doctor Strange. So this is the set so far, and I'll continue to show these off. But obviously, it's very easy to know which ones. Now, the one difference is the core series is using this logo as opposed to the tie-ins, which have this banner across the top. But that's the One World Under Doom. So now let's. I also want to take a few minutes and look at Spider-Boy. And this is going to go back to number 8, I believe. So just wanted to, walk through this so you can kind of see what these look like. Now this is number 1 annual, right? And I'm going to go back to number 8 here. And this is just a look at the cover art on these, which I like. It's not my favorite, but I do think they're pretty good. I like this one. This girl's like, what is going on? Somebody's going to make this backpack, and they're going to sell 1 billion of them. And this is a great action drawing with Daredevil. You can see they're falling. He's throwing his little nunchucky thing that has an extra long cable in this one. They're falling down. That's pretty cool. And then another air action pose. Looks cool. Yeah, Hi-Fi Haven. If you ever want to go shopping, let me know. We can meet up. Look at stuff. There's going to be a convention down in Colorado Springs this weekend on Friday, Saturday. Something Constellation Con, or I forget, but I'm going to try and check that on a Sunday. In number 15, again with Daredevil, and then number 16. Did I have another one? I can't remember if I had a number 17 today or if that was 16 was the new one. Let me look through my books real quick, see what I can see while you guys take in. Oh yeah, 17. Here we go. I knew there was one more, and that brings us up to date. So that's all but the first 7 issues of the series, right? So you can kind of see what's going on. All right, let's go back up here to camera number 1. So I am about ready to stream my Conan box, right? So I got a box of super used old Conan's, Savage Sword of Conan's. And I don't know exactly what's in there, but there are a bunch of them. And I think some of them are pretty old. Obviously, I'd like to have a full series of that full run at some point. But I think it's going to be exciting. So I'm going to get Drake, the producer, my son, to bag and board them, and then I'm going to go through and see. I haven't put them in order, and I'll start with the newest and go to oldest and see what we end up with. So I think it'll be a fun stream to go through that and kind of discover what was in there. So I'll get that scheduled up and get that going. But I think that's going to bring us to the end for this week's Key Comics. So remember, that Spider-Man that I pointed out, I think is going to be the key for the week. That's the one that jumps out to me. Could be Herculoids. I mean, you never know. We'll see if it takes off or not. But I do think it's going to be that Spider-Man, as that it has at least 2 new characters. And I'll read that and check it out, and we'll see. It's a one shot, so there's not a lot to collect there. So it can't hurt to pick one up. Oh, Van Gool, welcome, man. You're in my other world now, my comic book world. So this is where I make the call out to everyone. If you have joined me from my main channel, the Jiles McCoy channel, I also have a channel called Key Comic Books at Key Comic Books on YouTube. If you could go over and subscribe and be one of the first 10. It's a brand new channel. I just started doing this. This is my third stream, I think, or maybe even this. No, it's the third one. So 3 on this channel, and then the new channel that I made just for comic books has 2 of these on there. So if you could go check that out, links down in the description below. And as always, if you have any comics that you want to see specifically, and I'm always I'll be happy to talk about those and show those. And I'm always looking for guests to come on and talk through this stuff as I show off the new comics each week, so I can get an alternative opinion. So if you know anybody that likes to talk about comics, I'm looking for somebody to come on and co-host with me on a weekly basis. So Hi-Fi Haven, Van Gool, all the other people that aren't commenting that are probably here in shock and wondering what's going on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Take care, buddy. Have a good one.